Hey guys, Dwan Hall here. I wanted to share a little bit about my past and really my future, hopefully to inspire some young people out there. You see, from 13 to 21, I was a drug dealer. I ran the streets. I used to drink heavily, drink until I blacked out. Um, I used to smoke weed and just get high all day long. I did nothing but hang out and sell drugs all day long. And I was a very angry young man. And I used to have this attitude or this feeling that, the man was holding me back, that, you know, uh, being a black man in this country, I inherently had more obstacles or a harder path than a lot of people that I knew or what I inspired. And the truth is, there are. I mean, if you're black in this country, you're a person of color in this country, you know that there are, it's harder for you to be perceived as being equal with some of your co-workers. If no matter how talented you are, you may not always be received as intelligent or insightful or whatever have you. But you see, my life changed when I shifted my mindset from this world is holding me back, the man's holding me back, to a mindset of nobody can stop me, right? Nobody can stop me from getting the things that I want to get. The only one that can stop me in this world is me. Now, to have that attitude shift, that mind shift, is great for me to say, hey, that's what you have to do. But how? How do you actually do that? Well, I wanted to share with you one of my secrets. Um, I listen to audiobooks incessantly. I'm always listening to positive thinking. I wanted to share this book with you. This is a very old book by a gentleman, Zig Ziglar, who has actually been deceased for a couple of years now. See You at the Top. Now, if you've ever listened to Zig Ziglar, he's got this country twang, and it's very annoying to listen to at first. But the lessons there are key. And one of the things it starts off with is just having a positive self image. And that positive self image comes from listening to inspiring and motivating thoughts. You see, we're bombarded with negative news, people telling us that we're not good enough, from either through magazines saying that our bodies aren't good enough, you're not tall enough, you're not cute enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not handsome enough. The news incessantly focuses on negative things. I mean, 25 good things could happen that day, but they're going to have 5 or 10 negative things instead of those 25 good things. And that's because we as a society, we sort of gravitate towards those negative things. The music that we listen to, you know, don't be fooled by the fact that filling your mind with music that's all about drugs or adultery or whatever doesn't impact you, because it does. Now, I'm not saying don't listen to music. If you like the music and you enjoy it, I still like listening to old Nas and Outkast and things like that. But you see, the ratio of the things that I put in my mind are completely different. I might listen to music for, let's say, a half hour to an hour, but then I offset that with nothing but positive thinking. So you have to build your self image, you have to change your attitude, you have to start believing in yourself. And it doesn't happen overnight. Many times we associate failing with being a failure. It's not how it works at all. Let me give you a prime example of how an attitude can overcome a failure. Many years ago, when I decided to get my life together, I went to go get a job as a roofer. Now, at the time, I'm only 5'5", so I'm not very tall. But at the time, I was probably 140, 150 pounds. And I went to go get this job, and the owner of the company took one look at me and told me no. Nope, he's not hiring. He doesn't want to hire me. Now, I could have done many things with that rejection, especially with the mindset that I had accumulated. But let me tell you how I actually responded. I showed up the next day with my lunch packed and asked him again for a job. And again, he told me no. So I went the next day with my lunch packed, ready to go to work. And again, they told me no. And this went on for roughly 2 weeks. I would show up every morning with my lunch packed, ready to go, telling them, look, I'm ready to go to work. And it just so happens that one day someone called in sick again. And the man told me to get on the truck, and I had a job. And I took that opportunity and made the most of it. And let me give you another example. So when you take on a job, you can have one or two mindsets. You can go there and just clock in and clock out, or you can learn everything you can about that job so that you become indispensable. In the span of 2 years, I went from being the laborer of this roofing company, picking up trash, tearing down shingles, whatever, to actually being a foreman and running an entire crew where I was doing, 100 square foot shopping centers. I had people working for me that had kids older than I was. They had 10 or 15 years experience in roofing, and I only had 2. And the reason why I was able to do that is because I always ask why. Someone can show you how to do something, but you need to understand why are you doing it that way. Always be inquisitive. Always take a job and flip it. Take those skill sets and flip it. If I were to equate that to my drug dealing days, I would take a amount of money. Let's say I went out and I started off with $50, and I got a $50 wholesale, and I would flip that until finally I was able to buy something they call a 62, right? 62 grams, and then I'd take that 62 and then I'd flip that into a big 8 or whatever it was, right? I'd take the amount of money that I had and I'd buy drugs, and I'd flip those drugs and take that money back and put it to buy more drugs. Well, instead of being negative with the drugs, now I'm taking skill sets. I take this job that really was a menial job. I basically was the janitor on the roofing crew, but I didn't have the mindset of a janitor. I had the mindset of a leader. And that's what I mean about attitude. So if you want to advance in this world, one, fill your mind with positive information. Fill your mind with positivity. If you if you have a habit, you want to watch Real Housewives of Atlanta, or you have, you want to watch Power or soap operas or something like that you enjoy that has all these negative things going on, that's fine. But overcome that, offset that with much more, 10 times more positive thinking. And have an attitude. Failure is an event. It's not who you are. You haven't failed until you've given up, right? If I had stopped when that man told me no for hiring me for roofing, I never would have gotten that job. But again, failure is an event. It's not who you are. So have the mindset that nobody can stop you. Believe in yourself. Believe that God wants things positive for you. I'm not real big on the Bible anymore, but many people are. One of my favorite Bible verses comes when King David said that I believe that I will receive the good things of the Lord in this life, right? So you have to have the mindset, you have to have that, which is the attitude, you have to have the want to, and then you have to overcome rejection, because people are going to hold you back. People are going to put obstacles in your way. But they can only put obstacles temporarily. They can only put a momentary speed bump in your path. No one can stop you but you. And you have to have that mindset, and you have to fill your mind with positive thinking. No, positive thinking isn't going to make you, isn't going to make me taller, make me a better basketball player, or whatever have you. But everything that I do, I will do better with a positive mindset and a positive thoughts. That's it for this week, and I'll see you next week.